I found a billion-dollar category that really primarily had one player, and it was the energy shot category. It was 5-hour energy. They were marketing to a demographic that was 30 and up. You know, they focused on the truck drivers who who identify with how important it is to stay awake behind the wheel. And because of that, when I traveled, and music again took me to Africa, I experienced something that was more extreme than low-income housing in America anywhere. It was famine in Africa, and I wanted to do something. So when I got back, when I came across the category, I partnered with the United Nations World Food Program to provide a meal with every energy drink that's sold on that actual project. And I've had some success with that also. I've made it to 73,000 doors in about 8-month time period, so that's phenomenal for a new brand within consumer packaging goods.
Good, I'll contribute to that.
During the time period that I was actually launching it, I was seeing consistently images on the news with Occupy Wall Street, LA, Chicago, and different territories that made me conscious of the general public feeling like the major corporations don't care about them. Now, most people are conscious and would like to live life on the highest level. Even a minister congregation is larger when he preaches prosperity. So within my circle, that's a consistent theme. Like, they want to live the highest level possible. They want to live good. They want to be comfortable. And I don't think I want to be around people who don't. According to World Bank numbers, 10% of business would alleviate all extreme poverty. The only place you would find that much money is business itself. So I decided to promote conscious capitalism at that point, and I said I want my ventures moving forward to have automatic. It's like creating a business that you have a partner that doesn't exist, but that partner is an actual cause. It's against hunger. Hunger is not a third world issue, it's a world issue. Within America, you got 1 in 6 Americans going hungry. You got kids out there that's surviving based on school lunch. You know, so when you're in positions that you see a lot of things that kind of open your eyes within experience, because I was in that bubble. I was in South Jamaica, Queens, you know, so I didn't get a chance to see a lot of people or interact with them in different walks of life. So I was limited with actual information about people. So as I had the experience and the success and new people came around and I interacted with different things, I found interest in different levels. When you achieve a certain level of success, you'll start to evaluate what your legacy is going to be. And the people who help people resonate the strongest. Those people are who we appreciate in their absence even more than we did in their presence.
Now, when you talk about helping people, you said in 5 years, you want to feed 1 billion people.
I'm pretty ambitious. You know, I feel like the possibilities are limitless. You know, and I've achieved 4 million at this point. I've provided 4 million meals based on the concept. And with SMS Audio, it was a project that I created. With SMS, was the project following the SK project launch, and I partnered with Feeding America, and they're the leading charitable organization against hunger domestically within America, and that partnership allowed me to provide 250 meals with every headset that's sold through smsaudio.com.
We have time for a few audience questions. If you would line up to the mic, I can't see it, but
we got the mic right back here. If you have
okay.
any questions, line up here.
Hey, what's up? I'm from Oakland, California, and you're one of the artists from outside of the Bay Area
right.
that actually like messes with E40 now,
Right.
and Love Rants and all that. And I was wondering, what value do you see in that, and how come other artists don't seem to see that? Like, you don't see Jay-Z doing something with E40, you know?
Yeah. You know what? For me, I work with artists on a song-by-song basis because I'm in a position where I'm not having a problem financially. I can decide to do it just based on the art, on the music. So you see me do things and it'll be strange. I'll work with artists on their first song, like Tooted and Booted with YG, or Buzzin with Mann, or I did Down on Me with Jeremih. And those records were for free. They didn't have it in the budget to pay what I would charge. So if I didn't want to say, all right, just give me this much, because then people start to think that's what it costs. You know, so I had to just let it go and say, it's cool, let's just work, see what happens. And then with the Bay Area, the Bay has something unique. A lot of them is high out there. Like, the artists are high, to be honest with you. Like, they got a energy that's been going on for a long time out there where I don't know if it particularly speaks to the hyphy movement, but I pay attention to how they dance. The energy that would happen in the Bay when the music come on, like they really get down, you know what I'm saying? And outside of the Bay, Southern-based markets offered that thing. Like, they was like, I was going ham in that food. I was, you know, you shaking the dreads, shirt off, and he was like, I was going ham down there in that actual joint. New York, it's a different thing. Like, you get this. That's my nigga. I fucks with him. I fucks with 50. They dead serious. Like, and they'll leave like, yo, that was crazy, son. Yo, you did that. And I was like, well, it didn't feel like it felt when I was in the Bay, fool. You know, because you don't feel that same energy, that party energy, that how live they get when it comes on. So I've always watched it and appreciated that. You know what I mean? So there's different points, like with Love Rants, and he's a new artist. It was like his first song that I got on the record with him, and like Big Vaughn is a part of that too. Big Vaughn came me out. I made a relationship with Vaughn so long ago, like on my first record, first trip to the Bay, stuff like that, and he'll be like, nah, this one, you gotta do this. Like, this is gonna go. Like, I'm telling you, all it needs is you to jump on it. And I listen to the record, and then when it feels right, I'll do it. You know, there's points where he sends some things, and I'll be like, what is he listening to? Like, nah, this ain't the one. You know, but when it does match up, I go ahead and go with it.
I'm actually from the Bay too, so I appreciate that question.
I got a question. As opposed to other gangsters, why was Kelvin Martin more important, more influential to the 50 Cent moniker as opposed to any other?
You know what? The name 50 Cent, I'd look at it and say, when you pick someone whose name resonates to the small environment that you're in, but isn't known worldwide, when you say 50 Cent, they know that as me, the artist, 50 Cent. Only in Brooklyn, in certain areas, they would know who you're talking about as far as the person you're mentioning. And I look at it and say, how simple is it? Like, how easily will a name be remembered? The simplicity to the actual name is what made me accept it. And even with the brand G-Unit, the military has 6-man guerrilla units. At the time that I developed the concept and name for that brand, I was using that as an inspiration. But there was a rock band that came out that would make cartoons called the Gorillas. So when I ran into that wall, I said, well, I don't want to change it. I like it the way I had it, so I abbreviated it, and I knew it would work because I had references to J. Crew. Having that one letter, and then that 4-letter word that meant group or crew, and I saw it work within clothing. So that was the first place that I took the brand G-Unit after it connected. But all of the names, I just try to figure out how are people going to remember it. Like, because of the musical content, when a person wore like the G in the shirt at some points, they would be tougher. They would have a different energy, the way that they wore the actual clothes, or a different swag to them because of what it actually represented. And I think that's cool. When we look good, we feel good. That whatever the brand is connected to, that has an energy that separates it from everything else, makes it unique or interesting. You know, so I felt like it was a good concept of a way to develop what the name or the brand that you're going to use was.
Now, also, what I find interesting about the name is the metaphor behind it. 50 Cent,
It's a metaphor for change.
change is coming, which is real interesting when you look back on your career, and we see how you're able to adapt, whether it's, you know, there's so many endeavors we haven't even talked about. I mean, there's your website.
Right.
You're one of the first artists to go on a website and create your own site and have other people, you know, be interviewed and do all that just to keep the brand alive and just to keep that part in culture. So it's kind of interesting that looking back on it, it is symbolic of your career and your ability to adapt to the current state of what's going on.
You got to take things that would be considered a complete setback and turn them into a positive. You know, you got a lot of people. For me, I'd always say, don't count how many times I'm down, count how many times I get up, because I won't stay down, regardlessly. Like, it's just, when you're not accepting no as an answer, if there's no plan B and I got to make it doing this, I'm like, nah. You say no, I'll be like, okay, cool. Somebody going to say yeah. Eventually, and I learned no right before I learned yes. And 1, 2, 3, and 4, and ABC and everything else. So it's not a word that's going to intimidate me if you say it. Like, you say no, it's like, okay.
I just got a quick comment. This is my first time down at South by Southwest, and I've been to a shit ton of panels this week and a shit ton of shows. And I just want to let you know, first off, I want to encourage you, and B, I want to thank you, because this is one of the most honest fucking panels I've ever been to in my entire life. And to the fact, Curtis, that you talk about your family, you talk about your life and your songs, and speaking here in front of all these people is real cool to me. And I dream to work with people like you, for real.
Wow. Damn, man, that's hard to follow.